He'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe!
It's a Cobra attack! Get the G.I. Joe hovercraft! Get the new Joes aboard!
G.I. Joe hovercraft holds 9 Joes. It's the big new way to bring the Joe team into action. And it floats on water.
Release depth charges! Yo, Joe!
A real American
Chase that Cobra! Way to go, Joe!
G.I. Joe hovercraft comes with driver, other figures, and equipment sold separately from Hasbro.
He'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe!
Cobra's stealing the capsule! They're getting away in the water moccasin!
And with him are the evil new Cobras, Firefly, Scrap Iron, and the Baroness.
The shark will catch him.
G.I. Joe! A real American hero!
They're throwing the capsule overboard! Let's go get it! Way to go, Joe! Go! Go!
G.I. Joe S.H.A.R.C comes with diver, water moccasin comes with driver, other figures sold separately from Hasbro.
It's the next day, and I need to start off a little slow, so I'm drinking water. But I'll jump in the next episode. Now, those of you that are going straight through, God bless you, you're braver than I. This is episode 3, The Palace of Doom.
I've got to try!
Here!
Being a total badass, and a stand-up guy all around, Flint refuses to give up on Mutt.
Mutt, are you alright?
I got sand in my shoe. This sand will tear us to pieces unless we get under this sail!
Hey, a sand igloo! Maybe we'll make it after all! The storm's passing!
Then let's get back on the road! Thrusters on!
Once the sandstorm clears, our heroes venture on.
Avast, you sand lovers! We're free!
Meanwhile, at the happiest place on Earth, Cobra Commander brings his troops, as well as a forgetful audience, up to speed on the plot.
The Weather Dominator has broken into its 3 component parts, each of which has fallen into a remote and dangerous part of the Earth. The ion correlator now lies somewhere on the island of no return.
Yee-hoo! There she is, partner, the island of no return. Hey, how's it look from seaside, Pito?
Really bad, man, really bad. And
The Joes arrive at the location of the first missing component, just as Cobra does the same.
G.I. Joe is here! We must recover the piece of Destro's Weather Dominator before they do! Cobra!
Elsewhere, remaining Joe and Cobra forces plot their next move for the second component.
The second piece of Cobra's weather control device came down here.
The Palace of Doom. Major Blood.
Yes, Commander!
You will retrieve the Hydro Master, the second component of the Weather Dominator.
Cobra!
Lady J, you'll lead the assault on the Palace of Doom, and
Unauthorized entry. Intruder alert. Intruder alert.
They're coming in the supply door!
Entering their headquarters with no advance warning, Flint and Mutt manage to not get themselves in shipwreck shot in the face.
Flint, where you been?
Welcome home!
we all kept hoping you'd make it back, Flint.
Well, that means a lot. Knowing your buddies miss you, I mean.
She's your buddy?
Seriously, this is not the time to mix women and semen.
Mind if I join up?
Like the saying goes, 2's company, but 3's a regiment.
That never stops a stalker, though. And we're off. Elsewhere, still deep in Cobra territory, Roadblock just can't catch a fucking break. Optimus Prime? Is that you? Conveniently, Roadblock infiltrates the one random truck that will drive the plot forward.
Well, anybody all tied up in a Cobra truck has got to be my kind of man.
In a situation that would play out very differently on Pornhub, Roadblock frees the attractive young hostage.
These are my trucks, mister. Every one of them loaded and paid for by yours truly, Honolulu West, president and manager of Wild West Holland.
You're a girl.
Congratulations. You figured that out so fast you must be a rocket scientist.
Truck full of good eats, huh?
What's it to you, Jack?
I'm hungry, I'm a gourmet chef, and the name's not Jack, it's Roadblock. I'm with G.I. Joe.
I don't care if you're with the Tooth Fairy. G.I. Joe? Mr. Roadblock Gourmet Chef, get ready to chow down. I do believe this is gonna mark the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
On Pornhub.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages.
G.I. Joe Jungle Trooper. Codename, Recondo. File name, Leclerc Daniel M. Primary military specialty, infantry. Secondary military specialty, intelligence. Birthplace, Wheaton, Wisconsin. Grade, E4. Recondo hates the cold. He loves hauling a rucksack through the bush and sweating through his camis. When he's in the jungle, he owns it. Anybody else is trespassing. Cadre member at Jungle Warfare Training Center. Qualified expert, M16, Swedish K grease gun, M1911A1 auto pistol, M79 grenade launcher. A jungle is like a single gigantic hostile organism. It can sense when you fear or hate it, and is wholly without mercy. When Recondo steps into a jungle, it sings to him like a mother soothing a troubled child. G.I. Joe Shark Driver. Codename, Deep Six. File name, Willoughby Malcolm R. Primary military specialty, driver. Secondary military specialty, small craft, pilot motorized. Birthplace, Baltimore, Maryland. Gray, P.O., second master's driver's rating. Deep Six never won any awards for being friendly. He became a Navy driver so that he could do it alone. Enjoys bottle cap collecting, solitaire, and the New York Times crossword puzzle. Only 12 out of 50 Navy drivers passed the strict requirements for the coveted driver position on the Joe team. 8 washed out in the practical application testing. Of the 4 finalists, Deep Six could hold his breath the longest. Torpedo says, down in the depths where light doesn't reach, and the water pressure can crush you like an eggshell, that's where Deep Six likes it. G.I. Joe Hovercraft Pilot. Codename, Cutter. File name, Stone, Skip A. Primary military specialty, Hovercraft Captain. Secondary military specialty, Special Services. Coached the women's swimming team at Annapolis. Birthplace, Kinsley, Kansas. Grade, Lieutenant, junior grade. Cutter badgered his congressman for 2 years to get into Annapolis, then realized his family lacked 2 essential ingredients, power and influence. He opted for the Coast Guard Academy instead. He wanted a life at sea even though his hometown was as far away from either ocean as you could get, exactly 1,561 miles from San Francisco and New York City. His iron will and contrary nature laced with his truly bizarre sense of humor might explain why. Found out the Joe team didn't have any Coast Guardsmen, raised such a stink that the Coast Guard top brass had to pull every string necessary to fix it. It also gave the brass a way to get Cutter out of their hair.
Now back to G.I. Joe.
Air-to-sea combat continues, showcasing a new wave of vehicles, available at your local Toys R Us. God, I miss that place.
Use extreme caution in landing on the reef. That coral is razor sharp and hard as steel.
Now he tells me.
Look out or something! Just look out!
A G.I. Joe watercraft is beached on a jagged reef, demonstrating their danger.
Blast them off the reef, you fools!
That shoulder, Bill! Yo, Joe! Way to go, guys! Now let's dig in and get a detail started for the island. Secure your positions pronto. Here's Cobra!
As the shootout continues, Cobra saboteur Firefly places a strategic explosive, creating an opening for water vehicles to safely enter.
Wow! Cobra's cut a channel through the reef!
We'll beat him to it! Yo, Joe!
Cobra! Look out for that!
More freak global weather creates a new obstacle. With the continued influence of Lucasfilm properties of the 1980s, both factions arrive at a place called the Palace of Doom.
Inside that large structure, there.
A great chance to introduce G.I. Joe jungle specialist, Rakondo.
Ready, Flint? Ready, Rakondo.
Yo, Joe!
After a display of stealth maneuvers, everyone begins shooting at each other in the open, with zero cover. I bet they'll all be fine. With gliders, robots, and exploding spears, shit gets out of hand real fast. Gung-Ho avoids a court-martial by disobeying the right order at the right time.
Gung-Ho? You were supposed to stay back at headquarters.
What? Miss a fight?
Don't let any of those robots get into the temple!
More toys to fight more toys. How did our parents ever keep up with this shit?
R2-D2, it is you! It is you!
Wow. I think I saw this place on the Late Late Show.
Look, there it is. The weather fragment.
This can only be good.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages.
Cobra pilot, codename, Copperhead. File name, classified. Primary military specialty, swamp vehicle driver. Birthplace, an island in the Mediterranean. It is presumed that Copperhead is a native to or otherwise intimately familiar with the Florida Everglades. Intelligence sources venture a guess that he raced speedboats in high-stakes races. His major weakness is gambling. Odds are that he got started by placing bets on his own races. Apparently, he compounded his folly by selling his services to the Cobra organization in hopes of paying off his bookies. He can drive a swamp buggy like the devil himself, rebuild a V8 engine with a coat hanger, and spit fight all night and raise Cain till the cock crows. He has a heart full of gimme and a mouthful of much obliged. Cobra Saboteur, codename, Firefly. File name, classified. Primary military specialty, sabotage, demolitions, and terror. Birthplace, classified. No one knows what Firefly's real name is, or what he looks like. He is known by his work. He is an expert in all NATO and Warsaw Pact explosives and detonators. Always places his charges in one place that affords maximum damage. There is no question about his infiltration skills, since no one has ever reported seeing him enter or leave any target area. Even Cobra Commander doesn't know much about Firefly. His fees are paid into a numbered Swiss bank account, and are always payable in advance. He makes no guarantees, and gives no refunds.
Now, back to G.I. Joe.
We now return to Calamitous plotline number 1. It's not going well.
The whirlpool's too strong for our engines! The ship's breaking up!
Hang tight, Gutter Baby. I just got a mean idea. They don't call me Torpedo for nothing!
Weapons beat nature. God bless America.
How dare you?
Hit the deck!
Freedom and I will go to the island of no return.
I'm tempted to let you try it, but it's impossible.
Possibility and impossibility are states of mind. In my mind, there is only the possible.
Confusing Jedi lore with Native American history and culture, G.I. Joe Spirit heads out, braving certain death. I'm sure he'll be okay.
Good luck, Spirit.
Below the surface, Zartan is up to his old tricks.
And not before.
Defying all sane logic, a temple booby trap brings stone statues to life, with the inexplicable flexibility and mobility of an organic monster.
I don't think he's too crazy about visitors.
Now we'll clear out the Joe team and claim what is rightfully ours! Destroy and retrieve!
Look at the bright side. At least he's not wearing shoes.
As a giant robot fights an ancient living statue, the Joes escape under the cloak of a very shaky premise. Spirit recovers the first missing component. Please take note of its scale in relation to him. I'm gonna get back to that, I assure you.
I feel another presence.
That presence feels you as well.
Ninja versus Native American. This show has everything. Freedom the Eagle avoids being decapitated. Somehow. As weather continues to go crazy, Tripwire warns Flint of an impending earthquake from seismic shifts.
Must have been triggered by the freak weather around the world.
The completely plausible robot statue throwdown is interrupted by the quake. Heroes and villains alike flee to safety.
Now I know what I always hated about dry land. No place to dive.
Retreat! We must save ourselves!
Given all the incentives she needs, Homegirl makes the jump of a lifetime.
Gung-ho, you're a handy guy to have around.
Major Blood steals the fragment, like the sneaky, treacherous prick that he is.
Flint! Get us out of this!
No comment on this bullshit.
Back! No time now!
Utilizing every last Indiana Jones trope they have time to steal, we reach our next cliffhanger. Well, I don't know much about kids' cartoons, but something tells me those people we just saw falling to their death are gonna be just fine. And we're all gonna be just fine because there's another episode to watch this time tomorrow, so please check back here. And remember, like, share, subscribe, and I'm always more than happy to see you back in the next video. Thank you for watching.
In our next episode of G.I. Joe, Spirit and Storm Shadow continue their fight over the Weather Dominator. Roadblock and Hondo Lou kidnap the Cobra Commander in his own temple. Zartan reveals his dangerous plan of treachery. And G.I. Joe and Cobra battle for the recovery of the laser core on the roof of the world. All in the next exciting episode of G.I. Joe, The Revenge of Cobra.